Hey guys, I played your Brackeys games on stream. Thank you to everyone who hung out with me at twitch.tv/Hudgen. Now here are my top 5 games from this year's jam with honorable mentions. I forget how powerful a story can be sometimes, and there's a sentiment in game development that gameplay trumps storytelling, because you can have a great story, but if the gameplay isn't compelling enough, then there's no game. In this case, I would love to point to Care as a fantastic counterexample. It's a simple point-and-click adventure, albeit with some unoptimized clicking, but what really shines here is the story. Even if the mechanic isn't innovative, I was still completely immersed and drawn in. It just made me feel something, and that evocative power ultimately stayed with me, even after finishing it. At number 4 is The Pecking Order, a deceptively charming platformer game. You play a sweet office lady who, when double jumping, opens a rift to a parallel world that reveals hidden platforms. Everything about this was polished, from the art, to the gameplay, to the sound design. Even the final stage had a very satisfying end. Overall, it had this wonderful duality of being endearing yet completely anxiety-inducing. Fantastic job by the devs, please go play it. This one definitely scratched my FPS itch, as there weren't many in this jam, but this one was definitely my favorite. It's an arcade-like FPS in the style of Devil Daggers, where you have to survive as long as possible. The catch is that in order to reload, you have to switch into another dimension where nothing exists except bullets, slicing them in order to reload and return to the other dimension. Super addicting. I could have played this all stream if I didn't have so many games to rate, but my highest score was around 220 seconds. See if you can beat that and share your high score in the comments. Hopefully all my years of Overwatch will have paid off. This was the most challenging puzzle I played. The solutions weren't obvious at first, but once I got the solution, it was a fantastic aha moment. The puzzle mechanic here is super compelling, and each level had very clever design. Everything about this was super well done, and I'm very curious to see if the dev or dev team will expand upon it. This game immediately gave me Portal vibes. The mechanic is in fact a similar concept to the first on this list, but a 3D version, which isn't totally surprising considering that the theme of the jam was It's Not Real. This game struck the right balance of insightful puzzle solving and mechanical execution, and I'd love to see it developed even more. NeuroQuest was insanely stylish and deeply compelling. All the sound design and visual effects really sell the atmosphere, and it was one of the more immersive games I played. I was completely drawn into the subtle story suggested by the CRT monitor, and I wanted more of the world after the game ended. The dev for this game can take this exact version that's on itch, add 150 to 200 more levels, throw it up on Steam, and I would immediately buy it. Like, at this point, just take my money. I initially thought 21 levels was a lot, and was only going to play the first 5. Oh my god! We did all of them? I could keep playing forever, holy shit. It was over before I even knew it. And I had never been left wanting more as much as this. The puzzle mechanic is insanely clever, the puzzles around it have just the right balance of difficulty, which continues to ramp up at a perfect pace. I loved every moment of it, hats off to the dev, definitely my top pick of this jam. Thank you to everyone who stopped by the stream to share their game. I was completely blown away by the caliber of all the games I played, especially since they were made in just 1 week. Please go try these games out and give the devs some love. There's still time for ratings, and submission links are below.